England has changed a lot in the last 25 years. On the 2nd of April 1982, Argentina tried to claim the Falklands as their own territory, which at that time was part of the British colony. Naturally, the British went to war since they wanted to keep it as their territory. Two reasons being because it is located right by the shipping lanes around Cape Horn. It was and still is a good place to protect their merchant ships, but perhaps more importantly because the residents wanted to be part of Britain rather than Argentina. However, one other factor that is overlooked by the government since they claim that it wasn't relevant, but the Falklands Island is also located directly above the South Pole, where it is believed there are oil and gas reserves which could prove extremely important in the growing struggle of our economy. The Falklands War, however, brought a lot of pride to Britain since we won the war, and it was very much agreed between everyone that it was a positive outcome to a brief but bitter war. This memorial chapel in Pangbourne commemorates the British soldiers who died fighting for their country. Opened by Her Majesty the Queen in the year 2000, the chapel represents the pride our soldiers had in dying for our country, for something that they believed in. 7 years later, during the 25th anniversary of the Falklands War, the Queen returned to the chapel along with the Duke of Edinburgh, the Prime Minister and hundreds of bereaved family members among those who fought and survived in the war.
The message we've got is that British troops landed on South Georgia this afternoon, shortly after 4 p.m. London time. They have now successfully taken control of Grytviken. At about 6 p.m. London time, the white flag was hoisted in Grytviken beside the Argentine flag, and shortly afterwards the Argentine forces there surrendered to British forces.
Attacks on Iraq are underway. Explosions and anti-aircraft fire were heard around Baghdad 90 minutes after the US deadline expired. Early signs are that it was a surprise strike aimed directly at Saddam Hussein. So far, British ground forces are not thought to have been involved.
That's our main story on Breakfast today, Thursday, the 20th of March.
In 2008, very similar and yet very different events are taking place. The war in Iraq is something that has been very controversial for a long time, mainly due to the fact that this isn't something Britain as a country chose to do, and so we aren't proud of our actions. Many people also believe there was another reason as to why we went to war. That being that Iraq is one of the few countries left which definitely has an oil supply left. Prices in the UK for petrol are rising very quickly, so more oil is needed to be sought out quickly. Muslims in the UK and also across the Middle East are getting a very bad impression of the UK as well. Finally, our soldiers are having a hard time in Iraq. Here are the figures from Iraq compared with the Falklands War. Although the British death toll is lower, the reason why the Iraq War has caused so many problems is that there was no real reason why we had to go to war. This has, in many people's eyes, severely damaged our reputation as being good British people. The financial cost is also something that has outscaled anything we've experienced before. So what kind of England will my generation have in the future? Where will England be in 10 years' time? Still struggling to control Iraq? Not being trusted by the Middle East? A severe lack of fuels to use, all priced at ridiculous rates? This is how England is now, but in 10 years' time it will become my England, and our generation is going to have to sort out the problems that have been made now.